Hi everybody, it's Janet Rockware for Moonkusser Art. This is going to be just a real short video. I'm showing you my process of how I made these freeform geodes into sun catchers. I used my Dremel tool and I went to Home Depot and bought myself a little gift. I bought a drill press for my Dremel, and that's going to help me to make really nice straight drill holes for using to attach my eye screws that I'm going to hang a chain from and ultimately put these in a window. So you can see I can drop this drill bit on my Dremel directly into the side of my geode piece. I only have to drill down a little bit because the eye screws are quite short. So I'm just going to drop that in maybe ½ inch down in. And that's it, because the eye screws are quite small also. So I'm going to do it in 2 spots. Again, I'm attaching that chain you see on my tabletop. I'm going to use a piece of that, and that'll be what I can hang my geode off of those suction cup mounts that you can find for glass. I used to use them for stained glass pieces. I have some in inventory. So there's my drill holes. They're really tiny, but I've cleaned out any kind of dust so that I'm going to be sure I can get them in. I've grabbed that little eye screw with my fingertips, and my fingers are a little too big, so I find I'm having a hard time getting those screwed in. So I had my needle nose pliers handy. They're not special jewelry making tools or anything, something that I already had in the workshop, but I can then reach in there, grab the end of that eye screw, and twist until it goes in just to the depth that I drilled those holes out. If I tried to put these in without drilling the holes, I'd really be having a hard time. And I don't want to go deeper than what I drilled out because that could result in cracking of my geode piece. So I really want to avoid that too. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with how that's setting up. And I'm going to put my other eye screw in. Again, because I learned my fingers are a little too big, I'm getting those pliers, grabbing that end, and I'm going to use that to twist it in until I get it to the depth needed. Now, one other thing I want to mention to everybody is I had an idea when I started out making these that I would be using them as sun catchers. One of the things that you should think about when you're starting out, or maybe you've found this out on your own, but if you don't use high quality pigments, there's a possibility that the pigment can fade. So watch out for that. I've actually seen alcohol inks fade in sunlight or even change color in resin. So I would recommend staying away from alcohol inks for a project in making sun catchers. Okay, so now I've got a jump ring, and I also have a little bit of bright silver chain. It's not sterling silver or anything. These are all things I picked up at Hobby Lobby. The jump ring is going to allow me to put that chain on there and then attach it to that eye screw that I mounted into the side of the geode. It's a little awkward for me, I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to keep everything on camera so that you can watch what I'm doing, and trying to do that and hold two sets of pliers, one in each hand, and tighten that ring. Yeah, I kind of kept fumbling around on it, and I eventually get there, but you know, if it's not in front of the camera, how are you guys going to see what I'm doing? So let's speed it up a little bit, and I eventually get there. I'm very particular. I want to make sure I have the ring, the sides are lined up. So sorry I couldn't film everything on the screen for you, but I ended up really liking how they look on here, and I'm gonna manage to have all the rings closed up tight. They hold pretty good. And again, these pieces are not heavy, probably, yeah, less than half a pound even. But I want to make sure nothing's going to fall apart, and not that those chains are going to drop off either. So let's get that finished up, and then we can get it mounted and hang them up in the window so that you guys can get a look at how this final piece turns out. Well, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I really did fumble around using these larger needle nose pliers. If you have ones for jewelry making, go get them. Use them. If you don't and you think you're going to do a lot of these, go ahead and buy some. If you think you're only going to do a couple like I did, well, I think it took me 15 minutes all said and done to get those rings just the way I like them. I used suction cup hangers just like they used to use for stained glass pieces, and that's how I hung them in the window. The chain really worked nicely. It's again a bright silver finish, so it sets off really pretty. I hope you guys enjoy the process. I hope you make something that you really love. And by all means, let me know how I'm doing. And if you have any questions, comment, and I'll be glad to help you as best I can. Enjoy!